That's why when people talk about the Ajax thing, bro, like the more I see him, the more I realize that the structure and the culture at Ajax that was already there gave him life, bro. Because he's not a very good coach. He's not a very good coach. A lot of Dutch people have complained about his communication or lack of. Do you know what I mean? And he clearly he can't get through to these players. There's a lot of players at the club like the Scott McTominays and all of that that are just gonna play for the badge regardless, innit? It's not even about the manager. They're just gonna be happy to turn up to work, be playing for Man United, and they're gonna give everything no matter who's in charge, innit? But there's a lot of players that can play at better clubs than Man United, will play in better teams than Man United, because there's a lot of teams that are better than us that maybe are not better clubs than us on paper. But there's loads of players that they know, yo, if we leave this club, I can go somewhere better. Sancho being one of them. He's gone to a club that's managed properly, run properly. He's going to play Champions League football. We're not playing in Europe right now. There's a lot of players like Casemiro. Varane was getting linked to Bayern Munich, bro. And man, we're talking about getting rid of him. Do you know what I'm saying? When I'm hearing them man talking about getting rid of players at Man United and man are going to play Champions League football, that tells you everything what's wrong with this place right now. Because these are the kind of players that need to be the spine of your team that you need to be building around to take Man United to consistent contenders for that Champions League spot and to eventually try and win the league, bro. And it's like, man can't keep these players happy because they know these things are fast, bro. And that's why in hindsight, it's funny. Like I said, the CR7 thing, yeah, because he wasn't playing well, yeah, there's a lot of the stuff that he said, yeah, that I weren't trying to entertain because it was a deflection tactic on the fact that, you know what, I'm upset that I'm not getting picked no more, so I'm going to throw my toys out the pram. But when it comes to what he said about the manager's communication and all these other things, bro, you're seeing it. You're seeing it with loads of other players now.
Yeah, I think with the whole Ronnie thing, I always look back on the whole Ronnie thing and I'm like, you know what? It didn't end the best, but what makes it so much more worse for Ten Hag is the fact that, like, of course, I remember at the time, innit? But I love
Mm,
Ronnie. Like, Ronnie's my guy. But I
mm,
was like, fam, we're getting rid of him. Why? Because we need more legs in attack.
mm,
Why do we need more legs in attack? Because we want to press high up the field. Bro, I was like, it makes sense. Like,
mm,
36-year-old, physically declining, the Prem, one of the most intense leagues in the world. I was like, it makes sense. Fair enough. The way he went out probably could have been better. The problem is, bro, it's like now we're 18 months into the season, and me and you just half an hour ago said we don't even press. So
mm,
it's like, and I saw a report the other day that said United are looking under Ineos. United are targeting a striker of the caliber of a Harry Kane, somebody that's experienced, that specializes in putting the ball into the back of the net. And I'm just sat there thinking, fam, wasn't that what Ronnie done? He put the ball into the back of the net for us, and he was
mm.
experienced. But it's like we got rid of him because we wanted younger players, we wanted more physical players. Every young player, uh, real talk, has any young player really flourished under Ten Hag? Well, to be fair, it's not even just Ten Hag. At Man United, has any young player in the past decade that we've signed come here, found their feet, kicked on? No, the majority
No.
of the young players that come here die, and
Mm,
then they leave. Like Pogba, prime example. Like, Pogba's my guy, but Pogba came here, one of the one of the best midfielders in the world. Everybody's looking at him thinking, "Yo, Man United is a stepping stone to Real Madrid." Fam,
mm,
brother's unemployed at the moment, so it's
mm.
it's it's it's
Yeah, this
wild,
club,
man.
this club failed him. Do you know what I mean? Like it's failed
Mm,
so many other players. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the funny thing. A lot of fans that don't know football will look at his time here and try and blame him for it. And this is why I have so much sympathy for him. I have so much sympathy for players like Jaden. I have so much sympathy for a lot of players, even for Casemiro and Varane, because they've come here thinking the club's probably sold them all kinds of dreams. Because imagine if you're Casemiro, you're thinking, yo, Varane's already here. You know, like that, I'm coming here. Ronaldo's here. What? These men are going to be on a serious thing. And then he comes in and it's a joke. You know what I mean? And that's what they done with PP as well. They were like, oh, you're coming. Slatan's coming in with you.
mm,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like Henrik Mkhitaryan, who was player of the season in Germany, is coming in
yeah.
with you. And he thought, what, we're going to kick on from here? What? And this is what we're really on? And then a couple years later, man's playing with Fellaini in midfield. Man's playing in midfield with Marouane Fellaini and Scott McTominay, you know. Like after he come in and Michael Carrick was there and all these things. Man thought he was going to kick on and have a proper midfield partnership, and before you know it, bro, we're going backwards. And this is what Man United keep doing, bro. It's like the right players at the wrong time. Imagine if Man United had Casemiro and Varane the same time we had Zlatan, Di Maria, Cavani. Bro, when you think about all these players, Falcao that played for us, just all at separate times, at the wrong times. Imagine if we were actually a serious club and we started going for these kind of players. Do you know what I'm saying? At the right time, and we actually put that team together. All of a sudden, the team's looking crazy. We had Alexis Sanchez, bro.
Yeah, I forgot about him. I'll be real.
We had Alexis Sanchez, bro.
Oh, we had Di Maria.
Di Maria, Alexis, bro. Falcao. Like, we had players, like, on paper, when you hear Cavani, Di Maria, Alexis, Falcao, Zlatan, Pogba, like, this is crazy, you know. Casemiro, Varane, all at the wrong time. And all of them are looking around thinking, all right, where's everyone else? When Di Maria was here, he was looking around like, all right, cool. Where's everyone else? He was the only player that was world class at the time. Everyone else was up and coming. Martial was up and coming. Like, Di Maria looked around his team. He didn't have no other world class men that were at the world class level at the time with him, bro. It's always like we bring in these men, surround them by scrubs, and then we blame them.
That's what it is. That final point is spot on, because it's like, fair enough. Like, some of those players, we did sign them towards the end of their career, but you can still get something out of them. The problem is, I feel like with Man United, it's like they go for like the easy way out, which is they're like, okay, cool. Rather than signing 3, 4, 5 players that are ballers and then following it up the next summer with 3, 4, 5 players, and now you've got 11 ballers, 10, 11 ballers. We'd sign 2, and then we'd be like safe. Like, the other 9 man, you man are just gonna have to get to their level. But I'll be so honest, yeah. Like, you can put 2 ballers amongst 9 bums. Over time, those 2 ballers are gonna look like duds. It's just how it works, in it, because everything rubs on. And I'll be real, like, sometimes it gets to a point where you're like, bro, these men are shit and they're getting away with it. So why do I need to give 150%? And that's what happened with so many players. Like, bro, Di Maria, towards the end of his time, when we signed Di Maria, I was so gassed. Like, this is a guy that had just dropped Man of the Match Champions League performance.
Yep.
I was so gassed when we got him, and it's like, I looked at him and I was like, they've given him Rooney, who was washed at the time.
Yeah. Midfield Rooney as well, not even up front Rooney. Oh.
Yeah, that's what it was. Rooney washed at the time. Van Persie, he had like an amazing season prior to that, but Van Persie, you could see his legs were catching up to him. I was looking at it,
coming back.
Looking at it and thinking, what? Just Di Maria? Like, who else? There was a period where I've seen Di Maria play with Paddy McNair, Tyler Blackett, and I was like, yeah. It's long for man. I'll be real.
But that's what I mean. And Di Maria left us and still continued to perform at the top level. That's the thing.
Man left us after United. You know?
But that's what I mean. When you look post United career, he turned back the clock. So it's just one of them ones where, bro, that's what I'm trying to say. So man could turn around and they can say, oh yeah, these man didn't flop, bro. They were misused. And when people want to use the same dumb thing, oh yeah, like, good players don't need to be unlocked and all that, bro, it's nonsense, bruv. This is not the 90s where you could, or the 90s or the early 2000s where you did the Sam Allardyce thing and you just dash bare footballers on the pitch like what you done at Bolton, and you don't need to coach them. The game has evolved from that now. The game is very much about the system and role players more than it is about individuals. At the top level, with like the likes of the Man Cities, like Pep came out and he said, yeah, cool, you've got your system, but in the final third, it's not coaching. That's where the quality comes in. At the top level. The difference between Kevin De Bruyne playing that pass or the ball being at Bernardo's feet and him not having the capabilities of playing that pass and maybe trying to slip something through the middle or down the side. Those are the differences at the right at the end, at the top end. But everywhere else, bro, the system bloody matters, bro. From keeping the ball out the net to getting the ball to the final third for you to create.
No. Like, I think there is, like, systems are important in the modern game. Like, it's a systems game. It's not back 2004 where it's like your 11 against my 11. Go out, express yourselves. The team that has the most cash ends up coming out on top. Like, when you've got Brightons bopping Uniteds, and United have spent like what times 10 what they've spent, that should tell you everything about how important systems are in in the modern game. But yeah, with United, it's all about complementary profiles, because it's like, even when you look at a City, for example, when City decided to go and get a Haaland, they knew our wingers are creators. Our number 10 is the best creator in the league. So they were like creators amongst an elite goal scorer. They won themselves a treble. I'm like, right now, I just thought about it. When Man United wanted Erling Haaland years ago, I'm looking at our wingers at the time, and they were all goal scorers. I was like, so what? You're going to put Haaland in between Greenwood and Rashford, who literally just pick up the ball and cut in and shoot? He would have flopped. Like, it literally just hit me right now. So it's all about signing players that complement one another. With Man United, we don't do that. We signed one player, and we're like, now figure it out to play with these men. The problem is that these men aren't good. Yeah. And then it just sets the tone. I'll be honest. It's a shame, and that's why Man United now need to like make up their minds. They either go with this whole like Project Youth under Ineos, sign young players, allow them to grow, or I'll be real, just do a Conte thing and just sign experienced heads that can just walk in and hit the ground running. But if it's going to be a case of still trying to get some of these Ten Hag players that he signed to work out under a different manager, nah. Because I hate having different managers from, different players from different managers, and rather than clearing them out, we're just like, nah, let's just make it work. It doesn't work like that.
No, 100%. And this is the problem. That's why at the beginning I backed Ten Hag, because I was tired of having managers come in post LVG. We've never had a manager that's come in with a clear identity, a clear style of playing, and I'm tired of seeing us sell the players that the manager signed previously. Do you know what I mean? It's always like there's no club project. It's like we're letting one manager wanting to play a certain way, that doesn't work, then we're selling them, and then so on and so forth, innit? So it's one of them ones where the next manager, first, obviously, Ineos need to decide what direction we're going, and then the next manager needs to reflect that. The recruitment needs to reflect that. The recruitment needs to be club recruitment. It shouldn't be manager recruitment. Like, we need a head coach. None of this manager stuff no more, bro. Like, I'm done with it, because what's the point? There's no longevity in the Mourinho way or the Conte way of coaching now. The game's gone away from that. Like, if Pep leaves City tomorrow, they don't stop winning, bruv. Because they've already got the recruitment in place. They've already got the style of play in place. They've already got the players in place. And even when you spoke about Erling, yeah, probably would have flopped at Man United. Bro, Pep changed the whole system to accommodate him, bro. You know what I mean? He didn't just bring him in and say, all right, well, we're just going to play the exact same way. Cool. No, bro. They don't play the same way with Erling.
No. They play very differently. Like, when the team that won the league prior, it was when they had like Foden, false nine, and that.
Yeah, Gundo,
that was a completely different team to the Erling Haaland one. But I wouldn't even call it a sacrifice, but you make those tweaks. If you sign a baller, you make those tweaks. Now, like, fair enough. I don't really agree when it comes to, like, I think ballers sometimes don't need 4 or 5 things in their favor to unlock themselves. But at the end of the day, they need one of two, and maybe one of them can just be play style. And like with Man United, it's like for example, like, I look at City and I'm just like, fam, like the current play style, even though he's doing well, I don't think the current play style suits Alvarez. Like, Alvarez he's playing as a 10. He can't do it. Fair enough, he's put up numbers, but he can't do it. But it's just, systems make or break players. But at the end of the day, yeah, like, it's all about getting the players that work well with one another. Man United, we don't do that. We haven't shown any signs that we're looking to become that team. No, it's just a matter of you, man, make it work. And it's one of the reasons why many managers do flop. And I actually thought Ten Hag might be the guy that comes in and says, I want to play like this. You don't have the skill set for it. No hard feelings. You need to go. Nah, he's just walked in and just tried to add his own little spice on top. But, yo, the man them that were here, they don't work. Like, you look at Man United, we're probably one of the most uncohesive teams on planet Earth. Like, there's no chemistry.
Yeah, but that's how I know he's a fraud, because it's like, you know what's crazy? When he first came in, I remember a journalist said to him, did you speak to Louis van Gaal before you came in about Man United? And he pretty much said, nah, I'm my own man. I'm going to do what I'm going to do anyway. So there's no point me talking to him. Then fast forward, the brother comes in and says, oh yeah, like, I want to mix my way of playing football a bit. We studied the way Man United play and all these other things. It's like, bro, if you're your own man, you don't study the way Man United play. You come in like what Jurgen Klopp done, like what Pep Guardiola done, like what Ange Postecoglou's done. You come in and you say, listen, I'm playing the Ange Postecoglou way, bruv. I'm playing the Pep Guardiola way. I'm playing the Jurgen Klopp way. There's no, I was studying Liverpool under John Barnes and Kenny Dalglish and I decided we're going to play this. Bruv, this is nonsense. There's no such thing as the United way, bruv. This is a commercial football club, bro. Stop trying to gas man about this United way, bro. I grew up watching Man United play dead football, bruv. Like, for a lot of the time, football was dead, bro. 4-4-2, wide wingers, get the ball in the box, bruv. You know what I mean? There was nothing exciting about it. The most exciting thing was, winning and just attacking relentlessly, bro. It wasn't possession for possession's sake. It wasn't overly technical. Ryan Giggs would dribble. Beckham weren't dribbling. It was ball out the feet, put it in the box, bruv. Like, if we didn't get a header off, it comes back out, comes out to Scholes, he hits one, bruv. It wasn't, do you know what I mean? It weren't Arsenal. It weren't liquid football. It wasn't that. Why are you pretending that there's a United way? The way we played, when Steve McLaren was the number 2, the way we played when Carlos Queiroz was the number 2, complete different styles of football, bro. And still the same first team manager. This United away thing is the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard, bro. It doesn't exist, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't exist. Football evolves, bro. Do you know what I mean? United's way was always playing positive, trying to win every game, fighting to the final whistle. Do you know what I mean? And we were very direct, bro. And that's where the Fergie time came from, where we would score these late goals because we would keep attacking to the end and it was relentless pressure. But the football wasn't always... It wasn't the most beautiful thing in the world, but to say that there was a blueprint, like a style, there was no style, bro. There was intent, but it didn't matter how the ball went in it.
I think when it comes to United way, I think it's more like the United way is just winning.
Exactly.
Because it's like even last year we didn't play well, but when we won, no one complained. So at the end of the day, if you win, nobody says a word in it. It's just the problem is with Man United now is like we don't even know which way we're playing, but the problem is we're not even winning. And I always say, like, as a fan, sometimes you can accept not winning silverware, but the bare minimum that you want in return is just to be entertained. Like you want to watch your team, you want to understand your team, you want to see a manager getting the best out of your best players. But with Ten Hag, it's like, like I want to play the United way and this and that. He hasn't played it. When he has tried to play it this year, he hasn't been the most successful. Okay, cool. If the United way is not working for you, why don't you go play the Ajax way? Like, you gotta roll the dice sometimes. Like, if it's not working, go back to what you know best. He hasn't done that. And it's just, I've always said, it just feels like he trusted his juice too much. And it is arrogance where he tried to do like a hybrid of the two. The United way, which is like dynamic, counter-attacking, but with an element of control. Fam, I'll be honest, like the only way you're going to do that is if you literally sign 11 ballers, because some of the players that we have can only play counter-attacking. That is it. Some of the players that we have can play the possession side of the game. But when now you've got players that, I always bang on about this, Man United don't have well-rounded players. When you've got well-rounded players, they can work in different ways. So you want to play, I don't know, the next few games, retaining the ball. If they're well-rounded and their skill set is broad enough, they can do it. The problem is with Man United, like for example, Rashford, Bruno, I'll even drag in Højlund, Garnacho. For me, they're very dynamic, very counter-attacking players, but all 4 of them are not well-rounded.
No.
They're not well-rounded players. Like they have strengths in some areas, but their weaknesses are massive. And funny enough, their weaknesses are probably the strengths for a team that wants to retain the ball.